I know. I'm throwing you off. Because it's Wednesday morning. Indeed, it's not Monday morning. But what is up, nerds? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Nerdy Coffee. I feel like I'm zoomed in. Let me see. I was zoomed in. Oh, that was weird. I feel like there's a ghost in this room, but that's a tale for another story. Tale for another day. Welcome back to Nerdy Coffee, your weekly, normally on a Monday show, but it's on Wednesday this week. Your weekly nerdy show where we sit back, relax, enjoy a nice cup of brew, and just talk about last week's news. Last week's big things that were shaking the world, things that grabbed our attention, and just recapping those real quick. You know, short 30-minute-ish show. And this week we have a special guest. Josh is in the house, one of the very, very first affiliates to the channel. So he'll be helping me go through all the topics. We're doing nerd news, box office recap, last week's shows, this week's shows. That part, though, is a little weird because this week's shows have already started. So I won't talk any spoilers about Mandalorian. That was, I just watched episode 3, which is really chapter like 18 or something. They're doing it that way. All right. But we have Mandalorian, Bad Batch both dropped today. Last of Us finished. And we got, Poker Face is also ending next week. So a lot of shows are ending. But without further ado, we'll bring in the man, the myth, the legend himself, Senior Josh in the house. How you doing, sir?
Good morning. Not too bad. After just getting off my midnight shift.
There you go. Nothing like Team No Sleep. Nice mug.
Exactly.
If all of you want to
support the channel,
there you go. He said it right before I said it. you can get some cool merch at nerdaffiliated.com. New hoodies are out for those. Actually, just like today, it's chilly. That's why I'm wearing this. New merch has dropped. Mugs, sweatshirts, shirts like Josh is wearing. And you can also join the membership, join the Nerd Foundation, or drop a super chat. I almost said shitty chat. Super chat. Sir, how you doing? What's going on? It's been a while.
I know. It's been ages.
Yeah. Have you...
I know you love to... What's that? Oh, no, I was going to say, I know you love to text so much instead of a classic old phone call. It's okay,
I can't do the phone calls, man. It's just
so easy. Just put the buds in and multitask.
All right. Fair, but I also...
I'm a big multitasker.
But I can multitask while texting as well. Although Anthony would probably...
I can't.
Anthony would say otherwise because I leave him on red all the time. But speaking of which, the Rambling Nerd is in the house. Good to see you. Sal's in the house as well. Anthony was saying nice shirt. And Sal's saying nice pants. I guess he must have a secret cam that we're not aware of. Haunted Toys. I'm getting Puppet Master vibes. I think he's talking about that one figure that I was actually asking you about. What's that one back there?
Oh, me? Yeah. I would probably, let's see. Was it this one?
Yeah. Well, you can show both, actually.
All right. Well, this one's a gift from my brother. Mm-hmm. It's a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
Made out of motorcycle parts.
Nice. I like that.
Pretty cool. And then the other one, which my wife hates and is terrified of, is a classic old toy from
Alf.
You know that show?
Yeah.
She is terrified of this thing. So I leave it on her pillow every now and then.
That's very on brand for you. I can see that.
Very.
That's awesome. Alpha's actually getting a little resurgence right now. NECA, who made actually the turtle toys behind you, NECA has a whole Alf run that they're doing. And one of the scales is like 7-inch, like those turtles. And then the other scale is like more like a 3-inch. And there's like different.
It's gonna be a figure, like just a plastic figure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a whole line.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't think there's a demand for that.
I didn't either, but apparently it's selling. People buying
it. Even my kids are like scared of that thing.
Yeah, I bet.
I loved it when it was relevant.
Yeah. So we'll talk toys for sure. I'll pull up the old assets on the screen there. So, as I mentioned at the top, we're going to talk last week's releases. We'll talk about the box office, nerd news, and things upcoming. I'm still playing around with the order of the show, but I think nonetheless we'll start off with last week's releases. What I'll do is I will just let you guys know like what came out, and then I'll ask you, Josh, what kind of grabbed your attention and what did you enjoy. So last week we had the Poker Face episode 10. That's the second to last episode of the season. I've not seen that one yet. Last of Us finale rolled out. Picard. Apparently Picard's getting good reviews this season. So we had that. Mandalorian episode 2 of the third season, and then Bad Batch as well. Is there anything that you're watching at the moment that was like really grabbing your attention off that list? Or maybe is it something not on the list that's really pulling you in?
Well, I just finished Last of Us. That would probably be the top one right now.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Which is, I thought it was good. I thought it was really, I enjoyed the whole show. I know there's still some chatter from, those video game fans of certain things about the show, but
yeah,
I think overall it was great. They took a lot from the game and kind of just went with it. And I think the post shows help it a lot.
For sure. Yeah, we were talking about that
just before. To give a little foundation.
And they explain why they made deviations from the game too, which is nice. They'll just talk it through and what the concept was and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think the deviations are fine where they're appropriate. And I was talking to one of my coworkers last night, and he was talking about it a little bit, and he felt they were taking away from the characters a little bit. I think particularly the character Joel, and just how he's going about things mostly in the last episode.
Yeah.
I played the game, but it's been a long time, and I kind of forgot a lot of those scenes.
Yeah.
But there were some that I definitely remembered, like with the giraffe and all. That was cool.
Yeah. No, and it's funny, even something I've commented on before. I don't know if I've done it on the stream or not, but as somebody who also played, I didn't play the whole game. I played probably the first quarter, but then I watched all the cinematics from there. And as somebody who knew where the story goes, I was still intrigued and still watching it because I just didn't know where they would deviate or not. But oddly enough, I thought, and not to say that it was bad, but I thought the last episode may have been one of the weakest ones to me, only because I think they, in my opinion, probably rushed it. But
I agree.
It's because I didn't know they were going to do that. I was like, oh, are they going to kind of make this be like a season 2? And then that's when they kind of just go all in on it.
I think they're also unsure of, I'm sure they had a budget and didn't know how to fit it all into this budget and just kind of went with it. Because they definitely could have left some stuff out or who knows, maybe even made more episodes and added them in later just to fill some gaps. I don't know. They'll probably definitely go a little more in detail for the next season.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, they really did kind of get a lot of the game into this. So
yeah.
But it's condensed.
Yeah, it was very impressive.
They probably could have did like I'd say maybe 15 episodes.
Yeah, but I mean, and that one of the things that we love about it, they were in real sets or on real sets in real locations. Like even it's funny. There's a meme going around. I should have had a picture of it, but the giraffe. Oh, sorry. The giraffe that was there was a real giraffe, and people were like, "Man, these days they CGI everything, including the giraffe." And it was like, actually, the only part of that scene that was real outside the actors was the giraffe. It's kind of funny.
I was thinking that too. At first, I was like, "Oh, it's going to be CGI," and then I'm looking, and I was like, "You know what? I think it's actually real because there's a zoo not far from here where they set up a platform where you walk right up to them and you can feed them." I was like, "That's actually legit."
That's awesome. Awesome. Nice.
Yeah. So, well, I was very happy with it. My wife was interested in it, and she started it later than me. So I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
It's rare that we have a show that we watch together.
Exactly. No, and even with Amanda, like she, not a big video game person outside of mobile games, but not, games like that. And she was hooked. Like first episode, she was hooked. Episode 3, she's crying all over the place.
Same here.
It just grabbed everybody. It grabbed everybody, and that was, I gotta say, that was
Yeah,
very impressive.
I will say I did enjoy. The last 2 episodes were kind of violent. Especially Ellie,
Yeah,
and then obviously what Joel did, and it was still it wasn't over the top. I mean, maybe they didn't have to do that much, but at the same time, the game was,
violent.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So it was. I'm happy from start to finish.
yeah, cool. So, well,
Um,
I'll knock
yeah,
out what's going to be coming up over the I have the wrong thing, over next week, because we have some things that are dropping off. So next week we'll have another episode of The Mandalorian. There's actually a new episode that dropped today. Again, this is kind of a weird next week's releases because some of them are this week. So Mandalorian dropped today, and then of course we have next week. Bad Batch, same thing, dropped today and next week. Next week's episode of Poker Face will be the season finale, and then there's no more Last of Us, and Picard. There's Picard next week too. Have you watched
yeah.
Picard at all?
I was intrigued about it because Patrick Stewart was in it, and I wasn't
Yeah,
aware that it's on his third season.
yeah, yeah. Crazy,
I
right?
I didn't realize he's been in all 3 seasons, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why it intrigued me a lot because my father used to watch Next Generation all the time, and
right.
I'm not a Trekkie person, but I still enjoy the show to a certain degree. And I went to the movies with actually Anthony years ago. I think I went with Anthony to see Star Trek when it came out.
The remakes,
Um,
the JJ ones.
yeah, yeah, probably. Oh no, before that.
Oh,
This is like back in early 2000s.
mm-hmm.
I forget the name of the movie. It was with the Next Generation crew.
Yeah. I think Insurrection might have been the last
Maybe
one.
Insurrection
Yeah,
or the one before that.
yeah,
But I thought they were okay. But out of the shows that you've been talking about for the releases, Mando's the only one that I've been watching,
yeah. No,
or at least off this list.
I mean, what's crazy is Mando is not even the strongest Star Wars show this season. Like, I'm determined this year I will make that Clone Wars list, but I'm also gonna make a Bad Batch list. And yeah, Insurrection. That's the one with Tom Hardy. I figured that was the last one. I think I don't even
Yeah,
remember the plot of that one. I mean, the plot I
yeah,
think is somebody comes out of the past or other dimension. Tom Hardy goes after Picard. Everybody goes after Picard. Um,
yeah,
but as far as Bad Batch, I'm gonna make the viewing list for it because there are some really strong episodes of Bad Batch, and even the last 2 weeks in a row, those episodes were stronger than The Mandalorian, which is crazy to me. So
yeah,
I'll make a list so that way you guys can skip all the stupid filler in the show because the filler in that show is pretty terrible. I gotta say, but
yeah. I'll need that abbreviated list because
yeah,
for that and Clone Wars because I'm just
yeah.
not. I'm a nerd, but I'm not a very good one.
You don't want to watch 6 seasons that include episodes that only have droids rolling around in the sand.
What kills me a lot is it's really the animation and
Yeah,
cartoon, and I'm not. It's weird to say because as a kid, obviously that's all I watched.
yeah,
But nowadays, that alone drives me away from it.
yeah,
But learning a little bit of foundation and getting back into Star Wars, I'm not a big Star Wars person either. Like my history, my knowledge is not as vast as you and everybody here. Um, but those few filler episodes would be more than enough for me.
yeah. No, and that's why I like getting somebody like you on the shows because you're not all in on some of the stuff, and that's really who I think they should be targeting. Like I feel like when they make their shows, they should make it so that the more casual person can enjoy it. And like,
Yeah,
Mandalorian this season starts and people are confused. Actually, Anthony did a review, dropped it yesterday. People are confused. They're like, "Wait, how's Grogu here?" Or sorry, how's Baby Yoda here? He just left with Luke Skywalker in the last episode. And it's like they don't realize that there are a lot of casual people watching. You've got to fill in the blanks. Don't assume
Yeah.
everybody's watching every piece of content. Just can't do
Yeah.
it that
If they
way.
did, I tell you what's a great show to kind of go back in time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if this would be good for Star Wars or not, but Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
They did. I thought I've been watching every season, and up until even now, they do a fantastic job of going back to the old movies, the
Mm,
Karate Kid movies,
yeah.
and just piecemealing just little things. So even if you didn't see it, you're right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think they do a fantastic job with that.
I definitely need to. I think once most of this list is done, Cobra Kai is going to be my show that I watch, routinely with Amanda because we both liked the first season. We were watching it together. She may have actually
Hmm.
continued without me. Now that I think about it, but I liked it, and I kind of just forgot
Yeah,
to go back to it, and
yeah,
it was good. It was good. So I gotta head back to that. But I
yeah. No, it was
agree.
good.
I agree with the animation thing. I completely understand. Anytime somebody says that's what's keeping them from Clone Wars and Bad Batch, I completely understand. I don't disagree. Even when I first saw the movie was terrible for Clone Wars, and I was like, this animation's terrible. But
Right.
I kept going because I was like, I like Star Wars, and then eventually I got through it. But like, you shouldn't have to like fight your way through the visuals to get into a show. So
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah. No, I've it's been years where I've actually started diving into shows and catching up and watching stuff. And I don't know, I've kind of, I mean, the pandemic probably helped a little bit
Yeah,
diving back into stuff. But
yeah,
I mean, even since you've had your channel, actually, it's kind of got me back into all this type of stuff. You
nice.
know,
I'm glad we could
in
help.
the beginning, yeah, so it works out, get me in trouble with buying some toys that I probably shouldn't buy.
That's for sure. So that's a great segue into nerd news. I haven't even been doing the damn thingamajigs.
That's all right.
um, so that takes us into nerd news. There is some toy news in there. Actually, I just want to go back. First of all, welcome TJ Singh. Uh, welcome to the foundation there and the group. I've not seen you in the chat before, so it's good to see you on there. Kenobi's in here, Legacy's in here. Yukon Phil showed up in there, so good to see all of you guys. Um, so as far as the nerd news goes, there's a lot. There was a lot last week. I condensed it to 5, and one of them we're going to start off with DC, and then we'll end with Marvel. So one of them I'm not going to even show any assets to it because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But DC posted their own spoiler in their advertisement for Shazam, which was wild to me. Now, as the more casual of the two of us, do you even have any interest in going to see Shazam? And would a spoiler of a cameo convince you to go see it, or are you just checked out of DC altogether?
I didn't even know what Shazam was.
There you go.
And then I saw it and I was like, I have no interest whatsoever. But then I was like, but then I heard you mention something about the cameo, so I was like, all right, let me just watch the trailer anyway.
Mm,
Didn't even catch the cameo.
yep.
Didn't know what it was, and then I obviously went on the spoiler alert and just looked. And I was like, oh, I just didn't hold
Didn't,
any weight for me. And
yeah.
but I could certainly see where, I mean, for the director, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's not watching every trail that's made before it's released. So
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of on him.
That was the weird thing that like they would run out a trailer or sorry, it was a TV spot technically. So maybe that's where they were like, oh, just take bits of the trailer, condense it for like a 15-second TV thing. But I'm like, how do you guys all miss this? And how does nobody putting that together realize maybe I should ask if it's okay that this character's in it versus they just dump
Yeah.
it and nobody checks it to make sure. Like,
I mean, somebody's editing it,
yeah,
somebody's looking at it. So it's a big miss, but I mean, I don't know if it's going to affect the movie. Maybe it will in some capacity. I don't know. I don't know that. Is that a universe, that whole Shazam thing?
Don't even know. Couldn't even tell you at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like the whole DC Marvel thing, I'm so disconnected from it,
Yeah.
and so many have come out over the years. The last one I think I saw was Civil War, maybe.
That was the last Marvel
Um,
movie you saw? No.
I think so. Is that
You
the
saw it.
first? That's the first Avengers, right?
No.
Or
You've seen
no,
Endgame and Infinity
not
War
Civil War. Whatever the first one is,
of
that's the
DC
last thing I've seen.
of DC or Marvel.
DC.
So you saw Batman versus Superman.
Nope.
Do you see? I legit have no idea what movie you saw.
I don't even. I don't know.
Well, I
What
mean,
is it's Avengers? No, what am I saying? Avengers is Marvel, right?
yeah.
Oh, that's Marvel. Sorry.
Yeah. So DC, you're
Yeah,
like completely checked out then.
yeah. Although I did see the last Batman.
Oh, you did? Okay. Robert Pattinson.
I did see that. It comes in waves, but go back over the last decade, I've probably seen like two or three either Marvel or DC, and that's it.
Got it. No, I
Yeah,
mean, you're not.
bad nerd.
Was again, it's not even that. Like you are the more casual viewer.
Yeah,
So again,
yeah,
you are generally the targeted audience, and if they're not even getting you to see it, considering you have kids, they're not getting you into the theater, then that's a problem on their end. So I would say you're kind of just proving the point as to some of the quality they're putting out there. The next bit of DC news, this one is not really a spoiler, even though it's shot or it's a picture from the set. I mean, you guys already know who the character is, so I'll show it anyway. We got our first images of the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix from Joker 2 or Part Dukes.
sweet.
I'm excited for it.
Me too.
I still don't know if this is something I'm going to see in theaters. Like I haven't. I
I'd
struggle
have to see the
with
trailer.
it. You have to see the trailer.
Yeah, because the first Joker, although did I see? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw Joker in theaters. But if the trailer's good, and it's action packed and it's just a straight through good thing,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I'll go.
You know, actually, I don't remember if I saw it in theater. I think I did see it in theaters because
I'm pretty sure I did because it was just a good. I thought it was a good movie. It was really good.
And that's
It
pre-pandemic.
had a lot of good stuff. Right.
Yeah, so I think I did see it in theater.
I've been amped. I think I mentioned a while ago in a chat. Like I went to I think it was Alamo Draft House, and that kind of got me back into the whole. All right, maybe I can go to a movie here and there. The experience.
Yeah.
I guess it probably helped that I was able to buy a beer there and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
So.
I feel you.
But
I do. Even today I looked at the showings, and I was like, all right, I'll go see Creed today. I'll give it a shot. But again, now what they're doing is they're not showing movies until like 2:00, 2:30, the earliest. And
yeah,
I'm like,
I need matinee.
Yeah, I need an early show. Like, I got shit to do, and you got kids.
I guess that's what happens. I guess that's what happens when you start approaching the big 4-0.
Yeah, exactly. Don't remind me.
But yeah, I know, crazy. I think what recently got me back into movies, not to go off topic, but Top Gun, that just sucked me right back in. Like I was like, if something like that's coming out, I'll see it every time. I'm like,
yeah,
you know what you're getting. Now that Tom Cruise has proven it, time and time again, and it was, and that was a long wait for that movie too.
Yeah. Well, he gambled and it paid off. He was like, I'm not releasing this for home release. Like, you need to see this in theaters. And we're all like, yeah, sure, okay, old man, yeah, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that movie should be seen. That movie should just be continuously playing on IMAX. Like, it should just be an ongoing movie. Because I'll go randomly watch that if it was playing right now in IMAX.
Oh yeah.
For a matinee,
I've been dying to take.
Yeah.
I've been dying to take my wife to see it. Like
Yeah.
she's not even interested in that crap. But I said you'll enjoy this.
Yeah.
It's just a good movie. I think all the movies that do come out now that they really have to capture you because like there's obviously so many good dramas that have been made over the years.
Hmm.
Do you need to see them in the theater? Not really.
Yeah.
But something like Jurassic Park that like we'll just go back in time. Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
If that came out, would you go to the theaters to see that nowadays, or
No.
probably not?
Yeah.
And you don't need to because it doesn't require that.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to say something like that, like, a movie like that. I was even thinking a movie like Goodfellas. Like, I love Goodfellas. If that was coming out right now, would I go see it in theaters? Nah, I think I'd still wait. Still wait for home release. But
Yeah.
Going on to I closed out something else. Show. That's right. Going on to
More in the news.
Yeah.
Nerd news.
Yeah, I was gonna show going into Marvel top news. I think of last week. I had it up. I X'd it out, so I'll just vocalize it. Of course, John Berthal coming back for Punisher off of the Netflix show. Amazing news. And then Jessica Jones is also coming back for the show. I'm indifferent. And by show, I mean coming back for Daredevil Reborn. So Jessica Jones is coming back. We don't know if Luke Cage is coming back. We don't know if Iron Fist is coming back. But who we know is not coming back is Foggy Nelson and the girl, which I'm forgetting her name now, from the Daredevil show. So I'm a little indifferent towards that. I feel like most of the world, the nerd world, was upset they're not coming back because they were good characters in the show. So I hope that they get that, sorted out. However, something that everybody was universally upset about as far as the Marvel space was Angela Bassett not winning Best Supporting Actress for Black Panther. So my question to you, because I'm asking this question to everybody, did you see Everything Everywhere at Once? That movie?
As soon as I saw the title, I was like, "This is just another typical Oscars just selection."
That's a good point.
I thought the movie just came out.
Yeah.
And it came out like a year ago.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, well, let me look at the trailer. And I was like, this is not good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure those actresses and actually the two actors, actress and actor, they both won Best Actor.
Yeah.
They did,
no,
right?
Best Actor was Brendan Fraser. He won that.
Oh, Fraser. Oh, good for him. I'm glad he got it. I didn't even see that. It looks like it's good. I haven't given the time of day.
Yeah.
But it just looks like something that would deserve an award. And for a guy that's been kind of kicked out of Hollywood for years and he comes back with a Academy Award, that's huge.
Yeah. Well, so then that raises the question, right? Like Jamie Lee Curtis won. She's been in Hollywood forever. And it's like, do we do that now? Like, I think the first time I ever noticed it was when Leonardo DiCaprio won for The Revenant. I was like, this isn't even his best movie. He's not even the best character in this movie. But I was like, they're just giving it to you because they're like, you deserve it. Yeah.
Was that Jamie Lee Curtis's first Oscar?
Yeah.
Wow. Terrible.
And the thing, when it comes to that movie, she was not herself, which I think I'll give her credit for. Like, she plays like two characters in the same movie. But I was like, Angela Bassett in Black Panther, whether people love the movie or not, I thought she acted her ass off in that movie. Like even if we're doing the trophy for participation, she's been doing this forever, and it's her second nomination. I don't see how
I didn't see it. I wouldn't question it though. My wife and I, we've always watched American Horror Story.
Yeah.
And she's always done a good job in that. As much as we have such high expectations for that show every year, and every year it never fails to disappoint.
American Horror Story?
Yeah, it's just
wait, Angela Bassett's in that movie? In that show?
Oh yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. I'm
pretty sure she was in a few of them.
Let me see if I can go down to.
I if it's the actress I'm thinking of, I'm pretty sure she was in a few of the episodes.
I mean, you might be right.
Um,
I have not seen it outside of the first season.
yeah, I'm pretty sure she's in American Horror.
Let's see.
I'm just going because I always hear the credits, and
Actress. Oops.
I could be wrong.
Shoot.
Oh no, you know what? Thank you. I'm getting her confused with someone else
Oh, okay.
because you just see the names in the credits, and I'm like, oh, okay, this person's in it, and I'm not
Yeah.
even matching the name with the face. It
Yeah. How did I
just shows how
just lose
disconnected
the?
I am.
How
Yeah,
did I
that's all right.
just?
I'm probably wrong.
There you go. Actress. No,
Oh,
just
well,
I
there
was
you
just
go.
curious.
Sal got it. She was in the Louisiana season. That was
Oh yeah. Now I remember
that
seeing her in
was
my head.
yeah. I forget that season, but
Yeah, you're right. Here it is. See, you had your shit right.
all
You
right.
got it
I knew there was
yourself.
something there. It's the the first season of that show was great.
Hmm.
The second season was great until like the last. Actually, was it the first? I'm confusing the first season with the second, but the season was great, and then the last episode destroyed it. Just killed it.
Mm.
Completely went off a totally different path. It was going in this direction where they had this like old Nazi doctor
Hmm.
and this whole thing, and then all of a sudden aliens come out of left field.
Oh.
And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And it was just they have such good ideas for the show, and then it just the next season they had a clown in it, looked badass,
Hmm.
fucking excuse my language,
Are you good?
scary clown, and they killed him off like first or second episode. I'm like, well, where the hell's this show going now?
Yeah.
But sorry to get off track there.
No.
I hate that show.
I'm glad that we have somebody here who watches that show because now we can always cover that if it ever comes up.
Yeah, and I can't believe that show's even still going.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just we officially gave up. We're like, oh, we're done.
We're checked out.
Yeah,
I love that.
but
Well, I was going to say
I think you got one more left. Marvel. I think you got for your news.
Yeah, we have
Marvel something.
So this thing actually has not been talked about a lot, and I'm kind of surprised, but at the same time, I'm not surprised. It's funny. Sal said the same thing until the aliens showed up. I'm surprised, but not surprised. So Hasbro, they've rested the Marvel Legends, the Marvel Retro line figures, which are your 3 3/4 size figures. So, there's no articulation to them. You're just kind of buying the characters because you're like, oh, I like that character. And, like I said, they're small.
That's cool.
Like, think old school G.I. Joe figure.
I actually just saw these in Toys R Us.
Oh, you did?
Imagine that going to a Toys R Us again.
Wait, like in Macy's Toys R Us?
Nope. Legit Toys R Us.
They have a legit Toys R Us now?
Yeah. Yep. Jeffrey the Giraffe is back and he's scaring kids.
Where'd you see that?
So this weekend I took my son to the American Dream Mall, which is by Giant Stadium in Jersey. And it's this huge facility that's been abandoned for like a decade.
That mall. Yeah.
And now it's finally done. And that's one of the things that's in that store, that mall. And it's a 2-level Toys R Us.
No shit.
It was like, I was like, every kid should experience Toys R Us. So I took them. They have an indoor ski park, so I took them there for snowboarding. And I was like, oh, let's go to Toys R Us and let him find something. But I actually saw those figures. I was trying to get him to buy them.
Yeah.
And he had no interest. I'm like, what the heck's wrong with you?
Well, all right. So good point. So, people would say, oh, toys are for kids, and if the kids are not buying them, let's not make them. But a lot of us argue, no, we're the ones buying most of the stuff. We're buying the expensive stuff for sure. So even for yourself, a casual collector, casual nerd viewer and consumer, a figure like this, right? Again, size of an old school G.I. Joe. what do you think's a fair price that would get you to say, oh, I'll collect these versus, pass?
Is that price say $20.99?
That's for two.
Oh, that's for two.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like, is $10 a fair price for these, or?
I'm kind of leaning more towards $6.99,
That's what I was
but
thinking.
that's me. That's me going back to the '90s
When we were kids. Yeah.
when those figures were that price.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think just going on nostalgia and they're small figures too, so they look cool. As soon as I saw them, I gravitated. I was like, oh wow, cool, old
Yeah.
school Superman or Batman. Because DC has something similar.
Yes. The Page Punters wave.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sounding like a broken record here. Casual person is who the target should be for something like this. And a casual person, I agree. In my opinion, anything more than $10, they're not buying this. Even though it's on
Yeah.
a cool card and you could see the figure, and that's not going to grab a casual collector. And there's another company called Super 7, and they're doing a similar, let's see, Super 7, what do they call those? Oh, reaction figures. So they do a similar thing with like turtles, right? They have turtles, they have Godzilla, aliens, but $20 for one.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then it's like, when I see these things, I'm like, then they get mad when nobody buys them, and they're like, well, you guys didn't want it. It's like, no, I'll buy this, but like, come on, $20? Are you like,
Yeah.
You're reaching.
At the end of the day, plastic is cheap. Doesn't cost much to make them.
Yeah, no.
The research and developing, I would say, is probably more expensive.
Right.
But somebody's obviously designing it and putting that work into it, and that's worth money.
Yeah.
But plastic, made in China or wherever it's made.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I was like, hey, in the collector space, nobody's really talking about the retro wave going away, but at the same time, it makes sense to me why they're going away, because nobody's going to be paying that price unless it's us hardcores who have endless space, and we're like, oh, we'll also buy that. Now,
yeah,
something I would say worth the price. So like this Iron Man figure, overpriced, actually War Machine, overpriced. But they're doing a sale right now on Hasbro. And this is War Machine from the old school cartoon, where even like, the font is from the cartoon. The War Machine himself looks like he's from the cartoon. The back is like an old school Marvel card back.
right.
You throw this up there for $19.99, I think people buy it. But
right.
it's when they start getting crazy with the prices that they're like, oh, I don't know.
I think
why
it depends.
Buying it.
I think it depends on the crowd too, because that's going to appeal to us who lived through that stage.
Right.
So we're the target. Whereas the kid today is going to be like, I try to show my kids old stuff, old shows, old toys, and they're not as interested. Although I haven't broken out any of my toys to my kids yet. I don't know if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, my kids, I'm surprised they haven't even like asked to touch those turtles that I got from you, actually.
Yeah, which is great for you. They're not going to mess with that.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do have some old stuff that maybe I'll show them.
I'm gonna say the other one, Apocalypse,
I remember
from the
that
cartoon. Yeah, on
that's
a card.
Awesome.
Again, the animation is from the cartoon. The back is like an old school, figure. So this thing, again, overpriced in my opinion. For a casual person, normal price for this is $38.99, but on sale $25. It's very heavy. It's actually a really beefy figure. It's probably like 8 inches tall. So I think if you price things reasonably, people will go for it. But like you said, they need to understand it's not kids going for that stuff. That's us.
Yeah. I have to just show you something real quick.
Yeah.
I might have texted it to you a while ago, but these are some old relics I found from actually, speaking of Toys R Us.
Ah, more towards it. Yep. Nice.
There we go.
With the sticker on
There's
it.
one with the sticker on it, 99 cents.
Wow.
Storybook Adventure, which I think it's it. Yeah, it's just a story. That's that. And then one of them, yeah, and the last one.
That's great. Those are worth some bucks.
Yeah, probably. They're I mean, it's just old school like that. I mean, this is just the turtles that we grew up on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Did your
found those.
kids see the trailer for the new movie?
No, I didn't get to show them. Maybe I will see what my son thinks. My daughter, she's okay with it, but he's the one that would be veering more towards it.
Got it. I was curious. I'm curious to see if any kids are like, again, kids are the target audience. I feel like adults are more the ones gunning for it. So we'll see. See how that goes. I didn't even realize we're running over. We're already at 42 minutes.
Oh, shit.
So
I'll have
we'll
to come on for a Thursday.
a
There's
full
definitely,
episode.
obviously, yeah, more to talk.
But I
I've
do
got some
want to.
things brewing
There you go.
for maybe my own channel. We'll see.
There you go. Whenever you're ready to promote that, you tell me, you'll be on.
Yeah.
What I do want to touch on real quick, because I've been probably labeled a hater on this one, but as far as box office goes, Creed 2 still going, still moving, but it has been dethroned. Creed 3. So last week, a franchise you probably like, actually, Scream, beat out Creed 3 by getting first place. Scream 6.
Wow.
And Creed is down to 27 million. So I was just kind of looking. I was trying to see, where is Creed starting to line up with everything. So Creed right now, 4th place on the year. I think rightfully so. Right now it's at 104 million worldwide. And for reference, Creed 2 ended up pulling in 214 million worldwide. First Creed, 173 million. So I think Creed 3 will end up being the bigger of all the movies. But the thing that I point out that labels me a hater, I feel like with not a lot of competition in theaters, if the theaters were thriving, that 182 million worldwide would be like 300. But
Probably.
I think this just speaks to, again, not a lot of people going. They're not showing it as often. So theaters are wrapping up, in my opinion.
Yeah, like to me, I saw the first Creed. It was a good movie. It wasn't worth going to the theater. I don't think I went to the theater for it.
No,
It'd be
same.
something I'd be fine with watching on TV and just great. They'll get their money out of me in some way or form.
Some way, yeah.
But I can't believe Scream is at the top there. And that
Apparently
again,
it's
it's not
good,
even.
though.
It's I love the Scream franchise,
Mhm.
and as it goes on, there's just certain things I'm like, man, this just sucks. But I love the character. I think Ghostface, right? I think that's that's his actual name, which I didn't even know that until a few years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know he actually had like a title, like like Michael Myers, Jason.
Mhm.
I just like, oh, just a Scream guy.
Yeah.
But like that costume is what usually draws me back to it, which is why I saw the last one that came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw it on HBO or something, and it was okay. It's just over and over the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
But I mean, that's what they're gambling on these days. Is they're just like, hey, let's
I'll
keep
probably
these
see it,
franchises
unfortunately.
going. Yeah. And that's the thing. If they had made that a different title with a different murderer, way less people would see it. But they know we put Scream on it, we'll get a little bit more, butts in the seats for that one.
It's like the Halloween franchise. I love
Yeah.
Halloween. I love
Yeah.
Michael Myers. He's probably my favorite of any
Yeah.
horror character.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's just that character puts on such a it sells itself most of the time.
Yeah. I thought
So
the first of the remakes was great, and then the second one,
for
Michael Myers.
for the Rob Zombie version, or
No, well, yeah, that one I didn't mind. I didn't mind the first Rob Zombie one, but the
I
new
loved it. It
ones.
was the new ones. Okay.
Did you see the new ones yet?
Yeah, I saw not the one that just came out, but the one before.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think like he came, they were Jamie Lee Curtis had her compound, and he was in the basement,
Oh,
and they ended up
see,
burning. That was like two Halloweens ago, right?
yes. So that's the first of the newer series, continuation of the second, and
Right.
that one I thought
It
was
was
good.
good.
I thought that
It
was
was
good.
good. It was good overall. I was happy with it.
The one after that, though, I was like, this is not going
I
well.
wanted to see it in the theaters, but then I'm like, you know,
It's on the apps already, so you can just watch it that way.
perfect. Love it. But I did love the Rob Zombie when he did his version. I
Yeah.
was like, this is amazing
Yeah.
because it just took him to such a more violent level.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because I mean, he's a murderer. He's a a villain.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a nice villain. So
He's not an anti-hero.
yeah, Rob Zombie, he's got to put out some more stuff again.
He's got to put
He's
out
got a
more good stuff.
crazy. Yeah, yes. He's got a crazy, twisted mind, and he's got to use it.
Yeah.
His concerts are great. I'll say that.
Yeah, you are a Rob Zombie fan. That I can.
He's probably one of the loudest performers, I'd say.
Yeah.
That I've seen of shows. Just
more than
he takes it
Rammstein?
to a he takes it to a level. That's a whole other avenue. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure, sir. Glad you were able to jump on and help me go through the topics today.
Yeah, that's fun.
Like I said, when you're ready to promote your idea, I won't spoil it here, but when you're ready to promote your idea, you let me know.
Yeah, I'll talk with you in the back channels on some ideas. You kind of sparked another idea, so I'll talk to you later about that.
There you go. And Josh is a member of the Nerd Foundation. All of you can join the Nerd Foundation. Yep, get yourself some cool merch on the side there. At the top, you can also super chat, help support the foundation, but then of course be officially affiliated to the foundation. Appreciate all of you being here. Nerdy Coffee will be back on its regular time slot, 9 a.m. Eastern on Mondays starting next week. I didn't even talk about wrestling. Maybe I'll talk about it. Oh, I'll talk about it tomorrow on 316 Day for a fun episode of Hey Archer Live with T3 Collects. He'll be joining me. Tonight, actually, I will be on T3's channel. God, why am I blanking on the collector channel? I'll look it up. I'll put a link down below. But I'll be with T3 and his crew talking Nerd Shop tonight. I'll put a link down in the description. Then he'll be on my show tomorrow, continuing the conversation of Nerd Shop. Talking of shops, again, nerdaffiliated.com. Get yourself some cool, warm merch. Hey Archer Live, Thursdays, 8:15-ish p.m. More reviews, more podcasts, all that fun stuff happening. Rolando finally showed up in the house. I was about to say, like, comment, subscribe. We'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. The button plate, there it is.